Hey, I wanted to talk about something that I think is very common, and that is when you wake up, one of the first things you do is go on your phone or check your email, go on your computer or your phone and do something related to social media. Email counts as social media, I think. It could be work related though. But are you that person who wakes up and one of the first things you do is check your phone or computer? And I'll tell you, I was one of those people too. I went through a whole phase where I was justifying going on my phone and computer. And first of all, there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. But personally, I felt like that's really not how I want to start my day. I want to start my day for me with myself and not like opening the media access to me, like who's messaged me, what notifications are there, what new post is up, what kind of spam email do I have to archive or delete or respond to an email. Like I didn't want my day to start with the multiple ways that someone could access me, there we go. I wanted to start my day with me, with myself, for myself, and do things that are like top priority for my own future. Like I want to grow and and bring good high vibration stuff to myself first thing in the morning. And I want to do things that are in line with that, either my own personal growth or in line with what I see as high vibrational, like good supportive stuff for myself. So for me, social media, Instagram, Facebook. I don't have a TikTok, but I know a lot of people do. I don't have a TikTok yet. I might be starting one, but it would be I'd be very careful with it, because my point is I don't want all my time and energy to be soaked up by those things. And so if you're like me and you find yourself waking up and doing that, most likely it's a habit and it's just something you've been doing. It's easy. But the justification that I used, going back full circle to where I started, see, I told you a woman's mind is like this. The feminine mind, I should say, not the woman's mind, because the feminine mind works in so many pathways and spaghettis, all intertwined, but the stories all make sense and they all go back to one point. They all go back to the original point of the story. You just have to have the patience to sit through the whole story and get back to the point. So I used to justify going on my phone or computer right away because I would think this is how I wake up. And that was true. I had a hard time waking up and really getting going. Like my mental function isn't I'm not fully up and running. I don't drink coffee and I don't want to drink coffee. And both of those things are related to adrenal fatigue. In my case, I'm not saying you have it just because you have these symptoms, but one of the symptoms of adrenal fatigue is, and your nervous system being overworked, is when you wake up, it takes a really long time for you to wake up, like 20 minutes. And to feel like you're thinking straight and you're moving more fluidly. And a lot of people, I think, do have that symptom of not being able to think straight, move fluidly in the morning, and then they drink coffee, and that even is worse for your adrenal fatigue. If you have adrenal fatigue in the first place, drinking coffee on top of that, or caffeine in general, is really not good for the adrenals. So anyways, way back in 2019, when I learned that I had adrenal fatigue, and it was in the pretty severe stages, I cut out caffeine and I started taking something called methyl B12, which is the active form of B12, meaning I have a gene which is very common. I think 60% of people have this gene and they don't even know it. It's called MTHFR. You can get that gene tested in a blood test. You can go to your doctor and request that specific gene to be tested, MTHFR. And the reason why I bring this up all the time is because I learned from my naturopathic doctor that it is so common And it typically runs in the family. So like my mom has it, my sister probably has it, but it's passed on. And what it is it's a gene that, this is what I know about it. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but this is what I understood from the naturopathic doctor that I saw, Dr. Alice in Lake Forest, California. And she's amazing, and I really love her. So yeah, I'll put her info in the description just because she's amazing. I don't know if she works virtually or remotely. Like, I don't know if she can work with you if you're not in person. I'm not sure. You might check her out and ask her that. I had the fortune of being across the way, like business. Our businesses were why am I having such a hard time? It's because I just worked out. I need to like take a breath. Hold on. Wow, I had so much energy. Okay, let me just ground it down. I didn't realize how ungrounded I was. I was like, I had a lot of excess energy from my workout. I get energized. I will remember my point. Don't you worry about that. So Dr. Alice's office was across the street from mine, like the gym where I managed and worked and coached and trained at. She was right across the way. So she was in walking distance, like literally 20 seconds away from me, maybe less, like 10 seconds. And that's how I got to find out about the MTHFR gene, that my adrenals were fatigued and all kinds of stuff. And she really, really helped. So I always will recommend that anybody see a naturopathic doctor no matter what, because the amazing thing with a naturopathic doctor is they will look at the root causes of symptoms, and instead of giving you a bunch of prescriptions for a bunch of different symptoms, they will give you natural remedies that are effective and proven. They're just not they're not all constructed in like a very unnatural way that goes against your body. So then the side effects aren't as crazy as the ones we see when we watch like commercials, and it says side effects may include, and it's like a terrible list of things that people are willing to risk because they're just trying to get rid of that symptom. But the point is, the naturopathic doctor will look at all of the symptoms that you have, find the common root, that there's probably one or two common roots that causes all of those things to be happening that seem unrelated, but they're not unrelated. That is holistic health. That's holistic medicine. It's looking at the whole part, the whole human, the whole network, the whole conglomerate, not just the one thing. So Dr. Alice was able to help me so much. And so one of the things I learned was, because I have the MTHFR gene, I was depleted in B12, and then because of that, I was depleted in folate. And I started taking the type of B12 that my body could use, which was the activated kind. Up until that point, if I had taken B12 supplement and it wasn't activated, my body didn't do anything with it. Therefore, it could not use it. So I have to take the methyl B12, which means it's basically activated for you. So the grogginess in the morning went away because I started being a lot more gentle with myself. I wasn't training as hard anymore. I wasn't competing in CrossFit soon after that. It took me about a year to really ease off of my training. When I first met her, she told me, you should probably stop training this way. But because I was competing, and competing in CrossFit was my number one focus and goal in life, like all my goals were around pretty much training and gym stuff, I wasn't willing to, my ego was still too connected to the training and my identity as well. So it took me about a year to really ease off of that, and then start to see it's much easier to wake up, and I don't have that grogginess that I used to have. I'm actually feel awake and like fresh, refreshed. And I'm sure maybe right now you're saying, but I thought you said you had a hard time waking up and it takes you like 20 minutes. That's true, because I started training again, lifting weights and challenging myself a little bit more in the past 2 weeks. In these past 2 weeks, I've noticed I'm having trouble waking up again. I'm being very cautious and conscious of my adrenals, my state of stress, and reminding myself constantly to not go too hard. Like, I'm not doing this for competition, I'm just doing this for fun. So I was in that place again these past 2 weeks. I had a moment where I realized I'm starting to use my phone again to help myself wake up. And then I realized, this is what I want to share with you, is if you do that too, because you think it helps you wake up, and I'm sure it does, but you don't want to spend your morning doing that, you would rather do something good for yourself, but your brain isn't really working yet, then what's worked for me and what I suggest for you is to get into your body first thing in the morning. So if you get into your body first thing, then you're going to wake your brain up and you're going to wake your body up in a really natural, healthy way, as opposed to being in front of a screen first thing in the morning. And we know that's probably not what you want to do. And if it is, then you should just stop watching this video. So these are some ideas for how you can get into your body first thing in the morning. I don't mean work out, because that may not be what you want to do, but you want to wake up, feel like you're mentally ready now without drinking coffee. Maybe coffee's your thing and that's fine, but maybe you don't want to always have to go to coffee to feel like you can do stuff and function and think straight. So the body's a great way to help you move and get yourself going in the morning. So here's some ideas. Here's what I suggest. I'm still riled up. Give me another second. I have to take a breath. I have to relax. What is this? It's like a crystal broke, or some kind of glass. It was right by my leg. I'm sitting right by this little crystal table. I wonder where that came from. Something broke around here. Oh, I think I know what it's from. Okay. So, where was I? I won't forget. Just wait. So, I calmed myself down. Okay. So, different things that you can do to get into your body that isn't necessarily working out. Unless that's what you want to do, then you should just do your workout first thing in the morning. But I think most of us need a little bit of like a build up to that, you know? So here's some channels you can find on YouTube doing yoga. Yoga is awesome. Even if it's 10 minutes, it will wake your body up and you'll feel so good. It has built-in stretching into it. It has built-in movement. You're going to warm your body up. You're going to get your mind right and straight. And then you're going to bring gratitude. All of that starts your day out when you do yoga. All of that is part of the start of your day if you're doing yoga. Stretching, warming up your body, getting your mind right, gratitude. I mean, what else can you wish for to start your day with? So, yoga channels. One person I like to follow a lot is, well, there's a bunch of them. So, Ariana Elizabeth is one. Is that her name? Yeah, Ariana Elizabeth. And her channel is also called Bright and Salted. And she has really great videos because they're short and they're simple. She doesn't tend to have I've seen a lot of videos that are like 30 minutes and lower than that, like 10 to 30 minutes. So you can pick in that range. She probably has longer ones too. But I love using the search bar feature in someone's channel, in someone's YouTube channel. And I'll just look up the time domain that I'm looking for. So if I go to Ariana Elizabeth's YouTube channel, I will search 10 minutes, and then everything that she has in her channel that's 10 minutes will pop up. So I do that a lot. Another really great channel is Breathe and Flow Yoga. Breathe and Flow. It's a couple. I think he's German, she's American. They're very, I feel like they travel all around the world. Ariana Elizabeth, from what I understand, is working on building her own studio, and there's ways that you can support her in building her own yoga studio. Breathe and Flow are, they're like virtual gym teachers, and they just moved to Nevada Las Vegas, and that's where they're settling down. So they'll be doing, if you're in that area, they'll be doing meetup groups for yoga in that location now that they've settled, but before that they were traveling all around the world. Another channel that I really like is, I'm going to go past yoga in a little bit. Like, I'm just saying yoga right now, but there's other ways you can get into your body. What's the other? Oh, her name is, what is her name? Adrienne. Yeah, Yoga with Adrienne. And her name, I think, is Adrien. You'll have to double check that. I don't want to put them all in the description because I want these videos to be like easy and just, I put them out. I already said I put Dr. Alice's link in there, but the other ones I'm not going to put, so you'll just have to like push pause and write it down and search it yourself, okay? If you really want it, you will do it. Yoga with Adrienne is great. I think her name is spelled Adrienne, or maybe just one N, but you'll find it. She also has very simple, easy to follow yoga workouts. They're not workouts, vinyasa is more like. She's also very natural, very laid back. I think it's a really great style that she has. I like her style. And yeah, just check her out. And then there's another, I'm having a hard time remembering her name right now. Viola. Okay, Yoga by Viola, Biola. And she's also, I find her to be the most authentic, if that makes, she's very much, I think, herself. I love it. Yoga by Viola. She has a whole range of types of flows, but her focus is non-performative yoga. So she does not do things like breathe and flow are probably the most workout type of yoga. The breathe and flow channel I mentioned, they're the most workouty like people, because he comes from a jiu-jitsu background. They have an animal flow certificate, I think, and they just incorporate a lot of fitness and like strength into their yoga practice. They also have totally easy beginner ones, but I would say most of their videos are more strength, and like they'll give you a good workout. They could focus on abs someday. So if there's something specific you're wanting to focus on with strength or fitness in your yoga practice in the morning, you can find it on Breathe and Flow. Yoga by Viola is probably on the other end of the spectrum, and Adrienne and Ariana Elizabeth are in the middle. Yoga by Viola is very much about not pushing to do a workout. Doesn't mean some of the poses aren't hard, because they are, but it's more on the stretching realm, more in traditional yoga flow, I would say. And she's very much about not trying to compete with yourself, not why do we have to perform. Yoga is about connecting to your body and connecting to yourself. So I think that's her messages. That's what I've picked up anyways from these 4 channels. So that there's like 4 awesome channels to start with. I'm sure I'm missing some, but I've used those channels the most in my own exploration of yoga and waking up and doing something great for my body. So check that out. 10 minutes of yoga will get you going. Like, you will feel great by the end of it, and then you don't even know if you need coffee because you'll feel so good. So I really recommend doing that before. But this is what I would do. You wake up, you pee, you drink water, you put on a YouTube video. And what I do is I've subscribed to a bunch of Pilates and yoga people, so that if I see a video that seems interesting, I just add it to the watch later playlist. And so when I'm going in the morning to do something from in that realm, yoga or Pilates, I just scroll through my watch later playlist and pick one. That's how I do it. You know, it works for me. Okay, that was a really long talk on waking up using yoga, but what about other ways? Okay, other ways to get into your body. to just feel your body and feel your mind and body wake up in the morning so that you're not tempted to go onto the phone or the computer and justify that I just need to wake up and this is what I do. So you could take a walk. That's a really good thing to do. Tony Robbins is a proponent of waking up and immediately going outside and walking, or immediately using your breath and your body. So he'll do fast walking. And if you do that, you can just, throwing out some ideas, you can partner your walking, your fast-paced walking with a mantra, like the mantra I've been saying for myself for about a month or two has been, I am worthy of all that is in my highest and best interest. I am worthy of all that is in my highest and best interest. And I just say that in different ways. First thing in the morning, that's a great way to wake up, is start with your mantras. I know I've done a video on waking up and doing mantras and aligning yourself in a spiritual way, because that is when your brain is the least resistant that it will be, is first thing when you wake up, when you come from the dream state and you move into wakefulness. That transition time is when your brain is the most accepting. So anything you feed it in the morning is really going to stick. That's why it's so important, I think, to not hop on social media if you don't consciously want any message that's going to come at you from that place or from email. So yeah, you can walk, you can get a mantra going, or you can just walk and pay attention to your breath. But if I was doing the walking again, I've done it for a little bit, but if I went back to that, what I would do is make it as easy as possible. So I would make it so that I have like the same pair of sweats and the same shirt that I put on and slip on shoes. Like I would just want it to be super easy so there's no resistance to doing it first thing in the morning. That's another great thing about yoga. You can do it in your underwear, you can do it naked, you can do it in your jammies. It doesn't matter how you look, and you can do it in your own room, in your own house, in your kitchen, in your living room, by your bed. Like, it doesn't matter. So all of these things, I think, should be as low resistance as possible so that when you wake up, it's easy for you to start and do it. It's easy for you to just fall into the routine. And then before you know it, you are awake and ready to go. And maybe you don't even need coffee. Whew, still super energized. The other way to get into your body is to take a shower. And I don't know if you do that already. I don't always take a shower in the morning. I usually I take my showers at night. If I'm going to take a shower, it's going to be at night. And I do take a shower every night. But just because I sweat so much in my workout. But I don't always take a shower in the morning. But when I need that extra help, like this morning, I wasn't going to do yoga. But I knew I needed to do something in my body. So I took a shower, and I took a cold shower. It's summer right now. When I'm making this video, it's 9/8, so it's September. Yeah, September 8th, 2022. So I don't know when you're watching this, but yeah, the shower isn't that cold right now because it's summertime. But in wintertime in New Mexico, the pipes are cold and the water's very cold and the weather is very cold. So I may not take the coldest of cold showers. I might just take it to like a lukewarm or maybe right below. So do, a temperature that feels like refreshing. I think showers in general are super refreshing, but maybe on the cooler side would help you wake up, right? Not warm or hot, but more on the cool side if you can get behind that. I went through a phase where I took cold ass showers every day, every morning at like 4:30 in the morning when I would wake up because I had to coach my early morning classes. And then those days I rode my bike to the gym. It was, I think, was it 3 miles or 2 miles? It was 2 or 3 miles away. Or was it a mile and a half? No, it couldn't have been a mile and a half. It was probably, I think it was 3 miles. Anyways, I wake up at like 4:30, maybe 5 a.m. I don't remember. and I would do this routine, and then I do the cold shower thing, like the Wim Hof style with the breathing, and then you go into the shower. And it was freezing cold because for me, it was freezing cold. That was in California, but the water was still super cold for me. And I do all the way cold, like like I was a little bit of a masochist. That's why I competed in CrossFit. I'm not saying everyone who competes in CrossFit is, but that's definitely part of what fueled me, was the masochism. And so I pushed myself to do these really cold showers in the morning, and I'd be freezing, and then I'd get out, and then get dressed and ride my bike to work, and that would heat me up. So those were some pretty extreme days, I will say. But now the cold showers are more on like the slightly colder than lukewarm spectrum. So that's another way. So far I've talked about yoga is a great way to get into your body, even if it's a 10-minute class. There's even 8-minute classes out there. You could find them on YouTube. 8-minute yoga for beginners, 8-minute yoga for upper body, 8-minute yoga for waking up. Like, you can search whatever you want, but those channels I gave you, those people to follow, I think are a really awesome place to start. So yoga's 1, walking first thing in the morning is 2, and then cold shower is 3. The final thing I'll mention is stretching. Just instead of yoga, just stretching, like just getting on the floor and doing what feels best for you, following your body. You could even follow a stretching routine and find it on YouTube. You could find a couple that you like and just rotate those, do the same ones all the time, every other day. You could go back to the same one and rotate like 2 or 3 or whatever. You could have a stretching routine on Mondays, a different one on Tuesdays, a different one on Wednesdays, but this is specifically to get your body open and feeling good, so when you wake up, you have something to do right away instead of just plopping yourself in front of a screen or taking your phone into the bathroom and peeing while you scroll. That's just, I don't know, it just feels like, I don't think anyone really wants to do that if they're conscious of it. I don't know anyone who's like, yeah, I think that going on social media first thing in the morning and peeing and pooping with my phone with me is really healthy for me, and I want to keep doing it. Like, I don't know about that. Okay, I think I'm done. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.